I'm Ben Irving, one of the lead producers on Anthem, and you're listening to the Freelancer Codex podcast.
Welcome to the weekly episode of the Freelancer Codex podcast. Your host, Steven, and co-hosts Mike, Devon, and JD are all set. Join us and tweet your questions at Freelancer Codex. Find us on Facebook at Freelancer Codex, or send emails to freelancercodex@gmail.com. Strap into your javelins, and let's drop in.
Welcome, freelancers, to episode 67 of the Freelancer Codex podcast, the longest running Anthem podcast on the internet. Anyone else can say that? No, you can't. Prove it, you can't. So this is a very special episode. Why is it special, Devon? Why do you ask?
Because it's 2019? Year of Anthem? Why is it so special, Steven?
I was going to say because we're finally back from vacation and we're actually back podcasting. But, I mean, because it's 2019 and Anthem is actually going to be released in how many days? JD, I'm going to give this one to you now. I'm going to give you a warning. How many days until the launch of Anthem?
51.
Hey, you got it. You know what that means, JD? You were actually reading the document this time. So there's 51 days until the launch of Anthem, which is pretty exciting. Even more exciting than that is that if you are an Origin Access Premier subscriber on the PC, you will actually get to play the game in 44 days, which is pretty awesome. If you have EA Access on Xbox or the PC, and not that whole Access Premier thing, you'll actually get to play the game for 10 hours in 44 days. That's the limited time, so you only get 10 hours if you go that route. If you have a PlayStation 4, you don't get access to that at all. I'm sorry. That sucks for you guys. I wish it was different, but it's not. There is a full demo, an open demo for everybody. You don't even have to pre-order the game. And that happens on the 1st of February, and that is only 30 days away from today. And the one thing that is the most exciting is that this month, if you have pre-ordered the game anywhere, if you have subscribed on Origin Access Premier, you will get access to a demo that'll be happening in 23 days. So in 23 days, we are finally at the same month when you will be able to play Anthem for the first time. If you weren't in the alpha or whatever, for the first time you can actually talk about it, you'll be able to play Anthem, which is pretty exciting. Mike, levels of excitement for you right now that you get to play Anthem this month?
Oh, I'm excited. It's going to be fun. It's been a long time coming. We've seen all kinds of trailers. We've seen live streams. We've seen John and Ben and Mike playing. We want to play this game. We want to get our hands on controllers or mice and keyboards, and we're going to go at it. And it's exciting. It's cool because it's finally here. It's almost like a kid at Christmas. It's still far away, but it's coming. It'll be here soon, so we can stop licking our lips a little bit, but we still kind of do that because we hold on to every morsel that is out there. We're just super
some of
excited.
us aren't very hydrated, so if you're licking your lips a lot,
some of us are not very hydrated.
More water.
You should drink some more water. But it's going to be a fun time, and I think I think all of our listeners understand how fun it is, how fun it's going to be, and how long this road has been, and how long the wait is, and the info droughts, and then the floodgates that have opened and then closed again. And so we're excited. This is gonna be fun. We're gonna strap in and jump in, as it were. So
and drop in, I think, is the line. So everyone's strap in, drop in, and get out.
Well, I didn't think it was two ins. So strap in, drop in, strap into your javelin.
You have a little bit more space between.
Drop out.
Everybody strap into your javelins, and let's
jump in.
And let's just play it again. No, let's not do that. So everyone's very excited, except for that one person that's not excited. You know who you are. So, I mean, sorry
so
that you're not excited that this game is going to be coming out. And you know what you say to that person? You say, hey.
Shut up, Owen.
And that's what Mike says to a lot of the people that aren't excited about it. Okay, guys, we just had a big holiday. We were off. So how was your guys' holidays? Mike, you've been talking. So we'll go down to JD. JD, how was your holiday?
Thanks, Steve.
No problem.
So, still sick, unfortunately. We'll spend a lot of time in and out of the doctor's office. However, they did give me some medicine, so I was able to go on a little vacation up to Big Bear, and I took my dog out there.
Big Bear is a lake?
Mountain?
There's Big Bear Lake, and then there's also Big Bear Mountain. It's this basically like the best place for like the snowiest area in Southern California. Californians know it pretty well. California's a big state. The closest place aside from Big Bear Mountain is like maybe Mammoth or June Lake. up in like Central California, and then you get up into like the Reno, Lake Tahoe area that you could also go to. But I got to take my dog out in Big Bear Village, and she got to play in the snow. We ended up using my friend's like windshield, not windshield, like windshield cover, like the little like foil cover to keep the heat from getting in, as an impromptu sled, and we went sledding. So
oh, wow.
Yeah, I thought you were going to use your friends as the windshield cover. I thought that was going a different direction.
I didn't know where it was going, but now I'm picturing Mike's. Wow. Okay. Very cool. Sounds like fun. I'm glad you guys didn't get eaten by big bears, because I imagine that it's named Big Bear for a reason, that you encounter big bears there, the big Ursix. So you're going to have a lot of practice fighting those. Devon, how was your holiday?
I've been off for 3 weeks now, so that's been good. But we have the flu pretty heavily here in New Mexico. So my wife's been sick, my kids are sick, I've been sick, I've been better, and then I'm sick again. And yeah, so it was.
Sounds like a fantastic time.
We almost didn't get to go to Christmas with my family because they're like, "Oh, you guys are sick, stay away." We stayed away the whole weekend before Christmas, when all my family came down, and they're like, "Why did we all come down when you guys aren't coming?" And we're like, we're all sick. What do you want us to do? And it's what weird. It's like you're sick for a couple days and it goes away and you feel fine, and then I'm sick again. I don't know. It's weird. So we were good for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and then the very 26th, all of us were sick again. It's weird. So.
Yeah, that is very weird. At least you got to enjoy the 25th at least.
Yep.
And do that whole fun stuff. So sorry that you guys are sick. Hopefully you can take the medicine. Meth, I hear, helps really well with stuff like that. So if you have a dealer or anyone that...
We neither support or condone the use of methamphetamines. Please, if you have a problem, find your nearest.
Oh, I was thinking acetaminophen. That's where I was getting confused.
Yeah,
that explains the last time I was sick. It's all coming together. All right, Mike, your holiday?
Oh, it was so much fun. We crammed as much as we could into it, which kind of made it feel super rushed and super crazy. But we actually just got back from the mountain today. We went up to Purgatory, which is in Durango, Colorado. The kiddos did snowboarding for the first time. A 10-year-old, the 8-year-old, and the 4-year-old. The 4-year-old killed it. She was awesome. And it was just a fun time. Tons of snow. The mountain's been getting hammered. Our little town has been getting hammered, which doesn't usually happen. So it's just been a really fun. It's been a really fun break, really fun holiday. I hope everyone else's was just as good, if not better. We appreciate it. Steve, what about you? How was your holiday?
Mine was okay. I spent a lot of time home, and then quickly had to go back to work because my kids drive me crazy. So other than that, it was a lot of fun. It was a good time. It was a good holiday. Glad to be. I mean, it was like this whole holiday, we haven't had a lot of new Anthem news. So I was kind of like antsy, like, man, this has been like the 1 week where like you haven't gotten the little tidbits of information that we didn't know about. I mean, the devs are still answering tons of questions on Twitter. We've been talking about what's going to happen in the VIP demo, what's going to happen in the demos coming up. We know that we're going to be able to play with all 4 javelins. We know that they've changed a couple of things, like you're going to start with an old Ranger javelin that you have. Then when you hit level 2, you're going to have the option to either go Colossus, Storm, Ranger, or Interceptor, but in a new fashion. That's something that they've changed recently. So that's not you're going to start out with the Ranger from level 1 to level 5, and then you get to pick. So we still don't know what's going to happen after that, but we know at level 2, you'll be able to pick exactly which javelin you want to start with. So whether that's the Ranger, you get a brand new Ranger, that's shiny, or you get a Storm, or you get an Interceptor, or that 4th one that no one really cares that much about. So you can start out with those things that you want. So, I remember why this is a very special episode. It's episode 67 of the Freelancer Codex podcast, and we are going to do a giveaway. Before we left for a break, we said, hey, we're going to have this caption contest. Our Mike found a nice little picture of the 3 devs that have been on the show in action while they were doing their stream. Clipped that out, and we said, hey, you guys throw us up some captions on this. We'll pick a random winner, and then we'll give them the option of getting the game for free. We will get them the Legion of Dawn edition on the Xbox, Legion of Dawn edition on PlayStation 4, or a 1-year subscription to Origin Access Premier. So that's pretty cool of us. Let's all pat ourselves on the back for being awesome. So Right now, I am going to do some magic. I guess you could just say magic. You don't have to say magicry, right? Because magic essentially is magic, so you don't. Okay. Thanks,
Sorcery?
guys. Your big help
What?
for me this whole time
Where
we've
was
been
that
here.
going? I don't know.
I
There's
need-
sorcery,
Truly, you
there's
have a dizzying
wizardry.
intellect.
The problem is,
There's
JD, you're
good
like
crap.
on a 10-second delay, and I have no idea when you're like helping me out or if you're just leaving me out to dry for about 10 seconds.
I mean,
All right, Mike. I need a drum roll, but like a very special 2019 drum roll, not just like a normal drum roll that you normally do.
Scooby doo boop boop boop. Oh, what? Oh, I thought we were still going. No.
No, I want you guys to keep going. I do not want you to stop. I am still doing my thing, so please continue on.
Can we stop now?
No, I'm not even looking. I'm just listening now.
oh no.
Okay, guys, I found one. As enjoyable as that was, and I would let you keep going for longer. So, Isaac Black Games has won our contest with the submission of. So we, for our audio listeners, if you do not follow us on Twitter or had access to this contest, I apologize. We'll do more for the podcast listeners in the future. But this is a picture of during the stream, Mike Gamble is staring off into the distance. Like, how would you describe Mike Gamble's expression in this caption contest?
I mean, he's just focused elsewhere. You know, it's just you could tell that he is not engaged with what the other two are saying.
He's actually playing the game, and
like one or two.
Okay.
Dudes.
And then we have Mike. How would you describe John and Ben here?
So John and Ben are having a conversation, and they're kind of, it's almost like they both paused in thought. One posed a question, and they're both kind of like searching for the answer, and they're kind of looking at each other. So,
all right. So in this caption, Mike Gamble is thinking to himself, because that's a thought bubble, and he says, "I am poning so hard right now." And poning, for the younger listeners, means you're doing something good, I think. And then John Mortar says, "Should we tell him that his controller isn't plugged in?" And Ben says, "No, it's better this way." So randomly selected. Let's see. See, this is really confusing because it says Isaac Black Games, but then his Twitter name is Steven S. Gibson. So I'm going to call him Steven S. Gibson Isaac Black. So that's a long name. That's a lot of names. But you're the lucky winner, and we'll send out some information to you so you can get that free thing. So, guys, were there any other submissions that you really enjoyed that you wanted to read out on the air?
Yeah, there was one.
Okay.
There was one here. Sorry, I was contemplating your question. So this one, the user cropped out, and now we're just looking at John and Ben. And then the caption is, "The face you make when you're about to finish the face you make when you are about to say we finish each other's sentences, but she says sandwiches." And it was funny because it's a frozen nod, and so they're kind of staring at each other. Ben's got his mouth open like, "What?" And John kind of the same kind of thing. So I thought that one was funny. I didn't explain it the way I wanted to because I fell over my words, but
sometimes that happens. We're just coming back from vacation.
Yeah.
There's another good one here. Mike, as he's looking off in the distance, as Mike does. "Sometimes I don't think they even appreciate my use of the flares in combat." And the bubble for John says, "He knows that does absolutely no damage, right?" And then Ben's bubble says, "Just let him have his fun." So
that one is good. Mike threw out a ton of flares.
Yeah.
JD, did you have a favorite?
So you have Mike thinking it was a conspiracy not to tell me about the acid. And then you have John saying, "I think we hurt Mike's feelings." And Ben saying, "He'll get over it."
Yeah, the acid was pretty funny. Don't stand in the acid and you won't die. Yeah. So there was one by user.
Hang on. Unfortunately, a lot of them kind of poke a little bit of fun at Mike. But Mike, we know that you can take it because you're a strong freelancer. So like stay with it, man. It's all good. We appreciate you being there. I don't want to make it feel like we're like digging at
Dogging
Mike
on
and
Mike.
turning those screws. So
I
just
mean,
saying,
we'll
Mike
refer
Gamble's
to our
awesome.
resident
Right,
Mike.
So,
but
Mike
the,
Gamble.
but the
Mike
caption that
on
you
behalf of
took
all
out,
Mike.
Mike,
well,
like
I
it
understand that.
lends to the comedic aspect of this caption is that Mike is over there by himself while Ben and John are having a conversation. So if it's anyone's fault, it's probably your fault that
It
you
is
picked a
mine.
specific caption. So
It is my fault.
Mike can
and
blame
I
Mike.
I just happened to push pause on the stream, and that was just what it was. And I thought this is an opportunity. So anyway, Mike, we love you. We appreciate you. Love to have you back on the show.
He's never coming back now. So my favorite one my favorite one, because it's really weird. So it's by Aris Arena. I don't know how to say that, but so Ben looks at John and says, "You don't love me." I can't even read it. It makes me laugh. So, Ben says, he looks at John and says, "You don't even love me anymore." And John says, "Fool, I've always loved you." And then Mike off in the distance says, "I wonder what feet taste like." Like, what?
What?
This makes no sense. But it had me laughing. I must have been really late, or I must have been on that meth that I took instead of acetaminophen. That made that funny. But
The Freelancer Codex podcast does not approve or condone.
no, I don't think. No, we don't. So back onto the Anthem stuff. So congratulations, Stephen S. Gibson or Isaac Black Games. I don't know whatever your real name actually is, but we're gonna get in contact with them, and they're gonna win something, and that'll be a lot of fun for them. Okay, so one thing that we talked about already, we talked about the information that we learned about this week is that when you hit level 2, you're actually going to have an option to pick a different javelin. You don't just have to go with the Ranger for 5 levels, so that was pretty cool. We also learned that GameSpot is going to get an exclusive vinyl if you pre-order the game through them. So I wanted to ask you guys, has there, first of all, does this vinyl like say, hey, I need to cancel the pre-orders I have digitally right now and go over to GameStop? Does that do anything for you guys, or is this just kind of like it is what it is and whatever?
No, it looks just like, I don't want to say generic, but it looks just like the GameStop. It's got the GameStop colors, so I mean it's their typical, same kind of thing they do with everything. They put their colors on it and they call it the GameStop whatever. And I used to do stuff at GameStop a lot, but I would get the game digitally and I would have a pre-order at GameStop and I would just totally abuse their system because I would just move my pre-order from one game to the next and get the pre-order bonuses for all these games that I would buy digitally through Xbox. So I would just get it.
You would never have them fulfill the pre-order.
No, yeah, I would never have them. I would never pay off the game and fulfill the pre-order. I would just move that pre-order money, like the next time I wanted to put it to a different game, and they would just move it.
Min-maxing your money.
Yep, I was just sticking it to GameStop because I don't like GameStop.
But you kept going there.
Yeah, because I would get this. Well, this was before I stopped going there. I haven't shopped there since Halo 4. So
you were just sticking it to the man. I thought you bought Halo 4 at Best Buy.
Oh no, I didn't. No, did I get Halo 4 at Best Buy? Must have been Halo Reach was at GameStop. Yeah, because I remember. Then I never bought games at Best Buy after that too.
Yeah, that was a bad deal for you.
Yeah.
JD, what do you think about this vinyl, this decal?
I mean, I don't think it looks particularly interesting. I'm kind of with Devon on this one, where I used to do stuff like that at GameStop. I know that had it not been for some of the stuff that GameStop offered, I don't think I ever would have played Dragon Age Origins. So, because they were like, oh, if you buy Dragon Age Origins at GameStop, you get the Blood Dragon armor in Mass Effect 2, and I was like, that looks really awesome. I want that in Mass Effect 2. So I bought Dragon Age Origins and became a Dragon Age fan.
So you owe it all to GameStop then, is what you're saying, for their
JD's
their
BioWare
advertising worked on you.
Wow.
Yeah,
Learn something new every day.
Mike, does this do anything for you? Do you even care?
No, sorry, I tuned out.
Okay. So my question is, for you not caring, because we don't know if this decal is ever going to be unlockable. I'm guessing it's not going to be unlockable any other way except for this pre-order. So it's very possible that there's going to be a slot open in your, I don't even know what you would call it, your inventory.
Inventory?
This has a lock on it.
You didn't know we would call it an inventory?
I don't know what you're gonna call it. All right, whatever you're gonna call it, vault, inventory, space in your Strider. That there will have an icon that has a lock on it that you'll never be able to access. Does that bug you at all? Just knowing that, oh, I'm never gonna get that.
I'll just put a piece of tape over it, and it'll be fine.
I mean,
Okay.
if they put that in there, that would be annoying. But I don't think, that they're going to put an exclusive thing
now,
for
if
pre-orders. I
if
mean, it'd be the
it's
same for
still-
anybody with Legion of Dawn.
If
that
it's
doesn't
the
get the Legion of
wood,
Dawn.
if it's the wood vinyl, I'm gonna be mad.
I'll go out of my way to get a wood vinyl.
I'd have to go get it, but boy howdy, let me tell you.
Yeah, so I think for me, I actually don't mind that we knew that there was going to be exclusives to a lot of the retailers, and I'm glad it's just this final, and it's not something super awesome like a special weapon or something that's like, because to me, it's just like you said, Devin, it's generic, it's different colors, there's a little bit of a design to it, and I'm like, okay, for the people that want to do that probably shop at GameStop all the time, that's probably like a nice added bonus to them. But that vinyl, that design does nothing for me. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm just going to keep my digital pre-order that I have through, I've got one through Xbox and I've got Origin Access Premier. So it's like, I'm glad it's this way. I'm glad it's not something super cool that these guys are like, you know what? We really want you guys to buy from GameStop. This is like the coolest looking armor. I'm glad it wasn't like a bit pack that actually changes the physical appearance of your javelin. I'm glad they didn't do that, because that would kind of make me mad, because that's one of the things I kind of want to collect, all the different ways that you can change the appearance of your javelin. Just a vinyl and a decal. Not too upset about it, so I'm glad they went this route. I'm guessing we're going to see some stuff from Best Buy. I guess through Best Buy, though, we saw that Best Buy is selling a $10 steel case for Anthem, but it's just it's a DVD Blu-ray case, but it's just the case. There's nothing else in there.
Yep.
And I guess it glows in the dark, apparently.
Yeah, it's $10, and you can put your game disc in there if you want.
It glows in the dark?
Disc. Yeah.
That means
the front of it glows in the dark.
Wicked cool in the 90s.
Or, I don't think glowing. I mean, this is weird. I have other games done this, and I've just been like living under a cave. Under a cave? Do you live under a cave or in a cave? Probably in a cave, under a rock.
I think you live in a cave.
In a cave under a rock.
Yeah, so I mean, basically, Best Buy does a lot of steel cases for a lot of things, movies, everything. I mean, this isn't out of the normal for them, to just create a steel case for you to buy to put your movie or whatever in. That's just a special edition. That's more than just the cardboard or plastic that it comes in. So,
but I mean, usually when they do that, though, don't they include the game with it?
They do. So, I mean, they want you to pre-order the game there with it, but I don't know. I mean, are you able to buy this without doing a pre-order, or do you have to do a pre-order of the game also?
No, you can buy this by itself.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
it's so weird.
Yeah, I'm guessing they're hoping that you buy it there with it, but I don't know. I mean,
because then you don't get any other. There's no other digital goods that come with this. It's just the case.
The case. It's
I
cool
mean, that's
it glows in the dark.
Collectors, but that's not really going to bring in like a sizable chunk of the audience. I mean, because the only people that are probably going to buy that are like the hardcore fans and collectors that like they need to have like everything from Anthem. And I mean, I don't even really like steelbook cases. Like every time I've ever gotten a steelbook case, like I usually just toss it aside, or like I don't get rid of it. But because it usually has like nice art on it, but I just leave my disc in the box it came in, because I don't know what it is about steelbook cases, but they feel like inferior for actually getting the disc out sometimes.
The only time I had a steelbook case was in Halo 2. I really liked that case. But
and where is that case? Well, you display all your Halo 2 stuff, so you're weird like that. Yeah. I mean, this is kind of weird. It's like, I guess it's cool, but I mean, how many people are actually going to do this? I consider myself a hardcore Anthem fan. I'm going to get all the art books and all that other stuff. But a $10 steel case, I'm like, no, I think I can pass on this, and I won't feel sad at all. I don't think I'm ever going to be like, oh man, remember that time I could have bought that steel case that I didn't? I mean, it just seems very.
Until I buy it and then I show you, and you're like.
But then it like glows in the dark, and the front of it, not even the spine of it, glows in the dark. And like, who displays their cases like that? I don't think anyone does. Like Blockbuster did, and then they went out of business, so that's probably a bad idea. It just seems really weird. There's not even like a shirt included, or like even a digital code for a blue and yellow decal. So
why does glow in the dark even still relevant? Like that's such a weird thing to include. Like you don't even. I can't even think of any
Because
time
the
where
javelin,
was a selling.
places that it glows
ever.
are the eyes, right? So
I mean, like I have a shirt that's like Green Lantern. And the Green Lantern symbol like glows in the dark, but I'm not super excited about that. I only remember when it gets dark. It's so dumb. It's not a selling point.
You're not wrong. It is very dumb. All right, we're moving on from this. I know Mike was really excited about it. And we've just been kind of trashing on it. So, Mike, I know you're going to buy it. I'm excited for you. Pick up an extra one from me. Don't tell anyone. So, Ben
It's
Irving
got a
has
Ranger on the
confirmed. It's got a Ranger on the front. So, Ben Irving has confirmed that there are daily and weekly challenges. I think this is something that we kind of expected, but he did confirm it on the Reddit. We don't know anything else other than that. I mean, Mike, John, and Ben have been talking a lot on Twitter about some things, a lot of old stuff, not a lot of new stuff, mostly questions about the VIP demo. I think one that just recently came up while we were recording. Let me find it real quick. Mike was talking about playing God of War 3, and I guess he finally beat it. God of War 4? It's God of War 4, right? Yeah, God of War 4. Because 3 came out a long time ago, and he says you guys are going to have to stall for me while I find this. You guys can do that, right? Help me out.
what kind of while you're drumming, what kind of daily and weekly challenges do you think they'll actually have?
I postulate that one of the daily challenges will be to replay one of the crit path missions for added XP, and maybe a weekly challenge would be to I think it's going to be one of those collect kind of things. No, I don't agree with that. I'll get back to you on the weekly. Maybe it's going to be. What do you think, JD? I gotta think.
I think for the weekly events, I think we're going to see something similar. It's probably going to be like improved upon, definitely, but I think we're going to see weekly events similar to what we used to see in like Mass Effect 3 multiplayer and Dragon Age Inquisition multiplayer, where basically like they'll have like a kind of like in-game or like in-world event, like something like the Brutes have finally rallied together and are now coming to assault the walls of Fort
finally
Tarsus.
Unionized,
and they got together.
They're getting better health care.
They elected a representative, and they're like, we want in Fort Tarsus. We're bipedal too, and like usually when that happened, like Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, that just means that like the spawn rate of certain enemies were higher, and the challenge would be something along the lines of like players, you're challenged to take these increased spawn rate enemies and kill as many of them as possible. And if you kill more than this point, you'll lower their spawn rate for like the next couple of weeks. However, if you fail, they're gonna spawn even more, and they're gonna be even stronger for the next couple of weeks. So it had rewards and consequences depending on how well the community performed. And that was like, I really liked that in Mass Effect 3. It was really well done, because that would mean like gold events and platinum challenges were really, really hard at times because we failed to kill a good number of banshees.
Just get good, JD. Get good. All right. So Dallas 33245586 on Twitter asks Mike Gamble and Ben Irvin, what is a contract? Because people are saying legendary contract and stuff. I'm confused. And then Mike Gamble says legendary contracts are repeatable, dynamic, end-game content which takes you out into the world to satisfy certain objectives. They are hella difficult. Non-legendary contracts are given to you earlier as an attempt to train you.
He also responded, there's another one that asked him, like, what does dynamic mean? It says they will send you to different areas and ask you to do a variation of tasks each time.
And then Dallas also says, okay, so mostly they're side quests. Okay. Also, is the story change by voice, like the world shape change or one story? So Mike Gamble says, not sure I'm following the question. He says, oh, I gotcha. The world changes based on BioWare changing it. Fort Tarsus will change based on your decisions. So we kind of knew that information. And then he says, yeah, just ask me anything you ever need. So, and then we also got a very interesting, why is this not coming up right now? Here it is. We also got Mike Gamble sent out a quick poll to ask people what the most their favorite javelin is so far. And I want you guys to take a guess. What is the most favorite javelin of the four out of 2,637 votes?
Last I checked, it was Storm.
I would say the
what-
Storm.
With what percent do you guys think?
38%.
You're close,
I
but
was
no.
thinking it was like 36, and then 28 for Colossus. Ranger had the least, I believe, and then it was the Interceptor that had like 20 something.
So we have 31% at the Storm right now, and then 26 for the Colossus, which is really surprising because the Colossus is just like, oh, there's the Colossus. The Ranger is at 23%, and the Interceptor is at 20%.
Oh wow!
So, which is
Where
kind
my
of
big
surprising.
boys at?
I figured the Interceptor after the last stream that they had would be kind of up there, but I guess not. But only 2,637 people have voted. Seems very low to me. Got to get
We
more
only put
people
it
in
out
here.
today, so
That's very true. So interesting stuff. Shoot, one of the other things that we also had, I was on a show with the Freelancer Enclave. Freelancer Enclave, for people that don't know, is where a bunch of content creators and streamers get together to talk about the game, to try and build up, I guess, hype for the game. So you could go to fl-enclave.com to go to their website. And if you are a streamer, if you're thinking about getting into streaming or creating content, you can go there for some resources for a bunch of people that do that. And we did a live stream, State of the Game. I was on there with Sploom, and Sploom is a streamer, and then with AI Bags from that other I guess he doesn't do a podcast. It's more of a web show, right?
Yep.
So you can go on there. We talk
Anthem
a lot
Insight.
about Anthem from the very beginning. They wanted to kind of a state of the game, but the game hasn't been released yet. So we kind of went over a lot of the streams that we saw. It was a good time. You can go over there, check it out if you want to hear a couple of people just geek out about Anthem a little bit more. I mean, you're already here. You might as well go listen to a bunch of other people geek out about Anthem, right?
yeah.
You might as well. All right, guys. That is kind of it, unless there's something that's come up that you guys saw that you really want to talk about that happened in the last 2 weeks while everyone was on vacation. Because even BioWare, I think the majority of them were on vacation, so not a lot had happened.
Yeah.
Nope, not much
Nothing?
has happened, unfortunately.
We've all just
It
been
was,
twiddling our Anthem fingers.
We all have been. I
Well-
think we went dark too. I don't think I've turned on my phone in 38 years.
I took a little bit of a break. I took a break from the Discord, from online, and I just spent time with friends and family.
Very cool. You take a break from the Discord, JD?
I mean, like I popped
The
in like
moderator
4
takes a
times.
break. No, it's good.
I was going to
Moderator.
say, I guess.
Eh,
I thought I saw more of you in there than I had in a while.
No, I was in there like maybe like 4 times, like in the last like week, maybe 5 times. I mean, I was active today, but that's because we were recording today, and I wanted like, hey, JD's not dead. So
I guess that's a good way to figure that out. Okay, so one thing that did happen that I think we would not be doing our job is voices for people out there that are looking for information on Anthem, that there was a leak that came out from someone data mined the client from the alpha, and they put it out there, and it was up on the Reddit for a long time. It's probably still there if that's something you're interested in, I guess. But people are still under NDA, so proceed at your own risk. But it happened. It's out there. I'm actually really surprised that there's not been a lot of fanfare over it. I think people have just kind of moved on and just be like, all right, there it is. I don't know if people are just terrified because BioWare really made an example of a couple people that were streaming the thing and took away a lot of their content. So, I mean, good on them for enforcing the NDA that they have. So
Yeah.
I think if we didn't mention it, it would be kind of like, hey, are you guys like, are you speaking just to please developers, or are you actually speaking for the people that want to play this game? So
Well, Ben did talk about
kind
the NDA a little bit. Somebody asked him, like, when can people talk about the alpha? And he's like, that NDA is for life. And he's like, so much has changed since that build, that they don't want people to have misinformation or be confused. And so I was just like, wow, that's kind of surprising, like how much has really changed. I guess for people who played the alpha, they'll be the ones who know, and for those who didn't, then they won't know any difference. But yeah, no, I mean, I guess that's one good thing about the demo coming up this month. It's really hard not to talk about stuff. So,
I mean, pretty soon we'll be able to, and like you said, like, I mean, maybe they released a client that people could go down on because they knew it was going to happen, that there wasn't going to be anything spoilery in there that no one would care anyway, right? So now we have the opportunity to actually play the game, and then I mean, I think they got pretty lucky because normally people like get on these data mines and they just go through everything. People are talking about it all the time. They're showing off whatever they have, and this just really hasn't happened, which is kind of surprising to me. I mean, every time World of Warcraft releases a new client, a new patch, that thing is data mined the day it comes out. All the new information is leaked. I mean, they have story spoilers in those things, and they tell people, hey, you know, they're story spoilers, and people don't. I mean, some people care, some people don't. The nice thing is, like, people, they can make up their own decision. If they want to go in there to get the story spoilers, they can. If not, they can avoid it. JD, your camera is flipped. If you want to flip it back to your face, just as a FYI.
not on my screen. What are you talking about?
What?
No, it's only on my screen. Well, I don't see you, it's Steve, but I don't see JD's face at all. That's funny.
What did I say? Did I say Mike?
Yeah, it happens all the time. So I mean, I guess we're just kind of used to it by now.
I was
It's happened
thinking
all of our
that.
life.
So earlier it was funny because I was thinking. So the three of us, you know, Steven, Mike, myself, are all playing with the Origin Premiere, right? JD hasn't,
Mhm.
jumped onto that bandwagon yet. So that
I'm broke. I am broke.
I know, I understand. I was just,
I know. You tell us a bunch.
I was just thinking about how that's going to be a really difficult podcast, because we'll have been playing since the previous Friday, and then
Choices are going to be made.
to stop playing the game and do the podcast, and two, how do we have the podcast without revealing everything to everyone? It's gonna be a spoiler cast.
I could just not be there. So
I mean, I guess that's true. And then we're just gonna have to be like spoiler cast. Here's what we,
It's true. I mean, I think we would have to talk about everything that happened. We need to talk about story right then. You can't just gloss over it, right? I mean, we'll do a whole spoiler warning. We'll do a spoiler show, but I mean, JD can decide to be there if not. I mean, you'll be able to watch people stream it and get story that way if you wanted. So I'm sure we'll make a big decision.
It's gonna be a hard week for a lot of people that don't have
Yeah,
Origin Premiere.
I mean, that's one of the main reasons why we decided, okay, we're going to go PC because there's a full week of people having access to it. I mean, that's the week of a game, the first week where a game gets released. I mean, for a lot of games, that's kind of like a make it or break it. There's a lot of other games that have been able to, that didn't do so hot at release, that, patches and updates have brought it back to life. But there's a lot of games that, you have a very short window to make an impact. And if you don't make an impact in a world with Fortnite, it's very tough to find a base and to feel like, you're being profitable. I mean, we see games from Activision that, they get released. Like they even talked about Destiny 2 not being, hitting the mark that they wanted from Activision. So, I mean, it's tough. It's scary to be a AAA developer spending 8 years making a game. And it's like, okay, week one, we're either going to do good or we're going to spend a lot of time, making updates and patching. And then you're going to be Sea of Thieves. You're going to be No Man's Sky playing catch up and trying to get that market share back. And unfortunately, there's like 1 billion games coming out in February.
There's so many
Division
games that
2 is
come
gonna
out.
come out. Metro's coming out. Crackdown will be out. This month we're going to have Kingdom Hearts 3 that's been in development for 46 years. And that's finally going to be released. And people are still not going to know how that story is or how it lines up. So that'll be amazing. But I mean, it's tough. I'm excited for Anthem. I hope other people are, and I hope it shows well. And I'm excited for this first demo that people are actually going to be able to stream, because that's going to be a big part of getting people on board for the game, buying the game, and playing it. So we've got 2 demos until that happens. So here we go. I'm excited for it. So one thing that I wanted to do, because this is the beginning of 2019, I love doing prediction shows and I love doing stupid game shows where you compete against each other. Because if you're not competing against someone, then what's the point, right? If you and your wife, or you're doing dishes and you're trying to throw knives at the dishwasher to see who can land it in there, if you're not doing that, you're doing it wrong. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a bunch of predictions for 2019 for the game of Anthem. each of us are going to make 5 predictions, and then how we are going to do this. The other 3, as we make a prediction, we are going to rank that person's prediction on a scale of 1 to 10, based on how hard or how likely that prediction is going to come through. And then we're going to average that score. We're going to average that score. And then at the end of the year, we're going to tally this up and we're going to see who's going to win. And you know what we should do? The winner is going to get a steel bookcase for Anthem at the end of this. Okay.
And it glows in the dark.
It glows in the dark, and it's going to be fully charged. So
I think JD gets really worked up about glow in the dark stuff.
He really does, which is really weird. But there must have been like something in your past where glow in the dark things happen.
Glow stick let him down.
Steve's games are really simple.
And you know what? They're super complicated. So we also have a couple of predictions that some listeners sent in, so we're going to go over those also, and we can rank those also just for fun. So my first prediction, guys, and this is kind of how it's going to go. So Anthem will receive a Metacritic score between 83 and 90.
A Metacritic?
That is my
Metacritic.
Metacritic.
They critique the medical profession? What's going on here?
Yeah, so based on like how catheters are put in, wounds are clean, they kind of rate you. So based on the medical critique score, we're going to do that. So I'm going to say it's going to be between 83 and 90. So that is my first prediction. So you guys get to rate on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being that's really easy, or 10 being like, man, that's really difficult, and there's no way that's going to happen. Because the harder the prediction is,
so
the
this
more
like
points
golf.
I'm going to get.
1.
No. So
1.
I'm going for... No, you shut up while I talk. So if my prediction is difficult, like if I say, hey, Anthem is going to hit 100 on Metacritic, that would be ranked at a 10 because that's really high. And, you know, I don't think any games get 100 on Metacritic. So I would get more points because that was a tough prediction that I made.
1.
Gotcha.
I see. So he tells us the rules after we make our predictions.
All right.
But he knows beforehand the rules, therefore
give it a
giving him the
7.
edge on the points.
Everything else was under NDA. All right, so JD is going to say 7, so I'm going to put 7 here. Mike.
1.
Okay, so you're going to skew the whole thing. So you're going to say that you're going to say with confidence that they're going to hit between 83 and a 90 on the Metacritic score.
If they go over 90, right, your thing doesn't count. So
yeah, it's not that I don't have like a lot of faith in Anthem. It's just that I do know there's a lot of like EA hate out there that
That's
might
true.
skew the score. So
instead of like going with the user score, we can go with like the
the critic score.
Critic.
Like the
Okay. Because there's 2
if that's
scores,
the
it's
case,
like
then-
Rotten Tomatoes. I'll write in here
if
with
that's
the
the
critic
case, then
score.
I'll probably say like I'll probably say like a 3 then.
So you're saying that they're going to easily hit 83 to 90. Every other looter shooter has not been in the 80s.
I you know what, I got faith in BioWare if it's just from a critical angle.
what was Borderlands?
Borderlands was 81, I think.
I'm looking for it right now. I'm on the site. I'm looking for
Yeah,
Borderlands.
what is it?
You said 81?
I think so.
No.
I think the lowest critic score for BioWare is I think maybe just like a 78. So it's not like
Yeah, but that's a BioWare RPG. We're talking like
I know,
brand new IP, produced by EA, published by EA.
Okay, 5.
Oh, geez.
Give you
That's way
5
down there.
5.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Devin, what are you going with?
Good work.
I'll put a 6 on there.
Mike?
Okay, let me figure this out here. Trying to figure out how computers work. I won't go a 1 just to mess with your game. I'll say 4.
Man, you guys are going real low on this. All right, Devin,
we determine if you win or not, right? So obviously we're gonna go low.
Should have saved the rules for afterwards.
So if I get this right, I'll get 5 points. Okay, so Devin, your first prediction. We have a bunch of these. So
My first prediction
We
is
have a
the
lot.
companion app launches at or before E3 2019.
Sorry, that's because I was looking at a different. I'm okay. Sorry. go
I'm
ahead.
gonna say I don't think it's gonna launch before then, so I will give you an 8 because I think that it's highly unlikely that it launches before E3 because we've
Tell
heard
me when
nothing about
E3
it.
is.
E3 is in June.
June?
Oh,
So So you got 6 months, and we've heard nothing about a companion app.
I've heard nothing about a companion app.
Just not at launch. That's all we've heard.
Yeah, not at launch.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, I mean, you guys can.
What's your
go.
score?
My turn. So I will give it a 5. I will give it a 50-50 chance of doing it.
Because it's in the middle of the year.
Sure. Playing the odds here.
Okay, JD.
Okay, so I found it. Borderlands was 80. Sorry.
I'll give it a 6. I'll give it a 6.
All right, Mike, your first prediction.
Do I have to read it? I'm embarrassed.
You're
Yes.
embarrassed to read?
I'm embarrassed of my predictions. So Anthem will release in February. That's my
You're
prediction.
No, it's not.
Okay, so my real first prediction is that the first team to beat a Shaper Storm event will take 10 to 15 hours.
See, that's hard because we don't even know what a Shaper Storm event's gonna be.
Dun dun dun.
I'm gonna say that's really high. So I'm gonna give you a 4 because I think Shaper Storms aren't gonna be that long.
Wait, what?
So it's easy to take longer or to take that much time? Are you confused on the rules?
Am I confused on the rules?
No, I'm saying that Mike's saying it's going to take between 10 and 15. I'm going to guess it's going to be shorter than that. So if I thought that it was going to be really long, I would have rated it higher. But I'm going to rate it low because I think it's going to be a lot shorter than that. I don't think it's going to be like a 10 to 15 hour event for someone to clear the first Shaper Storm.
So then wouldn't you still want to rate it higher because it's harder to get? Because you don't think that's going to happen, so that means
it's a riskier prediction.
Riskier prediction.
Well, I guess it's true. I will give it a 9, so I don't confuse my own rules.
I'm confused by your own rules.
I'm gonna say
I'll be really
put a
surprised
10
if
on
it
that
goes
one.
to 10.
I'm gonna put a pin in this.
I'm gonna put a 10 on that because I don't think it's gonna take 10 hours.
You think it's gonna take longer?
I think it's gonna take less.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm guessing it's gonna be
Do you not
We don't
remember
even know-
us playing games together?
We're not
we don't even know what a
I didn't
Shaper
say
Storm
it.
is.
You didn't say us. All right.
Well, we're gonna be the first team.
No, we're not.
I doubt that, JD.
We all have full-time jobs.
I think that Anthem will have 3 to 4 story content updates in the first
So
year.
you need to rate Mike's prediction.
Oh, that's I thought I did. That's gonna
He's all
that's
skip.
Gonna be
Pass.
that's gonna be a 10 from me, dog.
All right, so Mike, if you get this, you're going to be up in the points bracket. So JD, your first prediction.
How does your average give him a 10 when there's a 9 in there?
It's rounded up.
Oh, okay.
So I think that Anthem will have 3 to 4 story content updates in the first year.
Can you define story content updates?
Basically meaning that it's not just adding like a couple of extra activities or play areas or missions, but that it's actually adding like more to the story, like kind of like the difference between like to use like Destiny as an example. It's like they have like small little updates here and there, but it's kind of it'd be more like Curse of Osiris or the War Mind or whatever.
So like a full
expansion,
like a mini campaign that they add on to it.
So if they like one weekend they just drop like one new mission, you're not counting that as.
I mean, like if it doesn't add like story to it, and I mean like a good amount of story, not like, oh, we made up like a quick throwaway line to make sense of this mission existing suddenly. Like it actually has like a little bit more.
Give us a quantifiable range of story content, because if they drop a couple missions and it's like, oh, this
define how many
story in it.
missions that story has to have.
I'm already quantifying like 3 to 4 story content, so I mean like it really depends. Basically, like it just has its own mini campaign. Like I'm pretty sure like other people in the community will kind of know what I'm talking about here.
So you're saying they're gonna put out 2 to 3.
Hey! We let Mike make a bet on a Shaper Storm, and we don't even know what that is.
Right, but we know it's quantifiable because once a Shaper Storm gets released, we know what it's going to be.
Just
Like
say
story content. Is it
maybe like
something that's added to the Codex? A mission that is like this is a story mission with
I
Halleck?
am leaving my update the way it is. I am leaving my prediction the way it is.
so we'll quantify it as similar sized expansions to what Destiny has.
If it has its own like little story campaign, then that's a story update.
Okay.
Like
So one mission is a story so like if it's just one mission, that counts.
Story campaign. Like we're talking like I don't know, at least 3 missions. If you really need a
Okay, 3 missions. See, that's what we needed. Now we're
cuckling with Gath. That was weird.
3 mission campaign. That sounds very easy because I know that they've talked about wanting to update things a lot more quickly. So I'm guessing we're going to get a lot of story missions added throughout the year.
Do you think they're going to do more than 4?
I mean,
so if they do more than 4, then his prediction's wrong, right? So
yeah, if they do more than 4, but if we're saying at least 3 missions in a story campaign, then yeah. Like, so I think that'll be different.
Are you saying 3 to 4 or more than 4? Because here it says 3 to 4 story content updates. So if they do more,
no, I'm saying I would be wrong if they do more than 4.
Okay.
And less than 3. So
then I'm going to put that really high because I think they're going to do way more than 4 content updates.
I'll give that.
That's
7.
Their system. That's a lot. What their system's been talking about, being able to do it quicker. Because when they did, JD, you can tell us when they did updates for Mass Effect, Dragon Age, how many times did they update the game in 1 year?
For the most recent example, because Andromeda didn't get any DLC.
Well, we're not going to count Inquisition.
Yeah, Inquisition. That was the same team. It was about the same. They had 3 big story updates, but they had smaller updates in between. Like they just added more items, more weapons, more armor, and a couple of additional missions that had like written stuff to them. But like we're talking like things with like proper animated cutscenes and like storyline to them and multiple missions in a new area. That was only like 3 times in a year.
I think it'll be
right on, Mike. Yeah. I'm hoping it's more than that, and that's what they've been telling us. So
if I lose, I still win because I get more story content to play. So,
but you don't get a steel book.
Mike, what you got? Shout out a
Glows
number.
in the dark.
I think the Anthem will have 3 to 4 story content updates in the first year. I'm gonna go with. So if I think it's gonna happen, it's a high number.
If you think it's gonna be less than that or more, then you need a high number.
Yeah, 1 is. It's definitely going to happen. 10 is there's no way that's going to happen.
Okay, then 1.
Okay.
Because I think 3. That makes sense. 1 a quarter, right? 1 a quarter.
I hope you're wrong. All right, my next prediction. Now that we're experts at this game, so I predict that Halleck is going to die during the critical path of the game.
1.
Devin, did you say 1?
Yep. I believe it will happen.
That means you do think it's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to die. I'm going to give it a 7.
JD?
I'm with Mike on this one. I'm probably going to give it a 7 as well.
Mentor always dies. Devin, your next prediction.
2 additional difficulty levels will be added by the end of 2019.
I think that's an easy prediction that'll easily happen, and they'll probably add more. So I'm going to give you a low score. I'm going to give you 2.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you agreeing with me.
Okay, so we are at 2 additional difficulty levels. So would that be like, what does that mean?
Grandmaster 4 and Grandmaster 5.
Oh, level cap?
No, not level cap, level difficulty.
Oh, level difficulties?
Yep.
I think that'll happen, so I'll give it a 2.
JD?
I'll give it a 4.
Give it a 4. Going borderline. All right, Mike, your next prediction.
My next prediction. See, you got me.
See?
Doing it too. You got me doing it too. So during the one of the live streams, we met a character named Tassin, and I think that she's
a good person to know.
I think she ends up being evil. Like evil to the point that it affects story, not just like, oh, you're evil.
I'm gonna give you 10 because she's already evil, I think. So she won't end up being evil. She's already evil.
I'm gonna say 10 as well.
JD?
So I don't agree with you.
So then why am I getting a high score?
Because
it's harder to happen.
Right, if you are right, you get more points at the end because you predicted it.
So we're disagreeing with you.
Basically, you're making a crazy call, like you're making a crazy prediction, and you're getting massively rewarded for being right with your crazy prediction.
Yeah,
correct.
It's
it's like 20 to 1 odds or whatever, you know.
Okay.
Like Tacit is secretly.
Mike doesn't understand gambling. That's good. Cool.
We should cap out Mike's face right there. All right, JD, what do you get?
One is okay. I'm gonna say 6.
You're going borderline. You're thinking she's evil also, or gonna be evil.
BioWare surprised me in the past. I could anybody in this story could be evil. I mean, Halleck could be evil and is secretly working for the Dominion, and it's only getting the freelancers to come back just to destroy them all over again. It could happen, and it glows in the dark.
Halleck glows in the dark. JD, your next prediction.
So this one is kind of similar to the other one because I was just desperate for a fourth prediction, but I predict major content updates will come every 2 to 3 months.
Define major.
Okay. Having at least more than 5 hours of content.
All right, I will take 5 hours Mike speed or 5 hours Devon speed.
I don't know who establishes how long games are or how many hours of content. I don't know which guy establishes that, but 5 hours.
All right, we'll let IGN establish that because they do all that stuff. All right, I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you a high score because there's going to be more than that.
Awesome.
I think there will be updates every month, so I'm gonna give you a high score.
Updates every month?
Yep.
Every month?
Mm-hmm.
5 hours of content every month.
So I
guess it depends on how you define content, though. So.
Yeah. So for me, when I was thinking content, I was thinking armor, weapons, gear, that kind of stuff. I wasn't thinking of story as content, per se. I mean, that's what what came to mind.
5 hours of playable content. So I don't know, additional missions.
So let me posit this question, JD, if this falls under your thing. If they release a weapon that you want in this one content drop and it takes you 5 hours to grind and get that weapon, does that count?
No.
But it's content.
5 hours of new content. If it doesn't have a new mission to go with it, then
well, it does say major content, so
yeah.
I mean, but in this game, maybe I guess we don't know how it's going to happen. We don't know anything about bit packs and when they're going to release bit packs.
Yeah, I'll give it a 6.
Yeah.
All right, Mike.
It's up in the air.
Oh, truly, you have a dizzying intellect. All right, so we're on number 3 prediction.
No, you're going to rate JD's prediction that we just talked about for the last 10 minutes.
What? Come on.
Sorry, guys, I'm lost. I predict that a major content every 2 to 3 months. I think that is going to happen. Oh, major content? I don't think that will happen. So that's a high number?
Yes.
Si, senor.
42.
42 out of 10. I'll just put it at 10 because that's how my Excel sheet works. All right, next prediction. I predict that we are going to have 8 javelins.
I predict that our listeners have stopped listening at this point.
I predict that we no longer have any listeners to this show. I'm going to give you a 1 because that has obviously happened. 8 javelins by the end of the year.
By the end of 2020 is what you have here. Not the end of the year.
Let's see, by 2020. So I'm gonna put
By 2020.
I will put by the end of 2019. For a total of 8 javelins that you can play as.
I'll give you an 8.
All right, Mike.
There will not be that many javelins by the end of the year. So you will get a 10.
You're
One.
working on, man, Mike. You are getting it, man. Well done, JD.
Math's hard, friend.
Shut up.
I am also gonna give this a 10.
You guys really don't think that we're gonna get any new javelins, or how many do you think we're gonna get?
I don't think we're gonna get 8.
Okay,
8 total.
If
Only 4.
That's
additional.
one a quarter.
I bet we get one a year if we get one. Because think about
Warframe,
the type that we have. We've got an assassin type. We've got a tank. We've got a balanced, and we've got an elemental. What else? What other character
Sure,
model
we don't have a bard, we don't have a cleric, we don't have a thief, and we don't have a
Yeah, we do.
Barbarian.
We have a thief in the interceptor.
It's all about builds.
Agile. Yeah, quick, agile, stealthy. We've got a cleric in the intercept in the
Really, you can
Storm.
build any character to do anything currently.
That's not true.
You don't know.
You want the Colossus in the back healing people?
So
Yeah,
we know
sure.
we know the monitor.
That's
has
how
a
I'm going to
different
play the
javelin.
Colossus.
We have the monitor has a different javelin that we can
Block
potentially
me,
use.
guys. I got this in the back here.
the only game to do something similar to what Steve is suggesting is Warframe, and the fastest that they get a new Warframe out is usually like 6 months.
Or Dota,
Every 6
League of
months.
Legends, Hero of the Storm. and
I'm
they
thinking
release
there'll be 2,
characters,
but I don't think 4.
you know.
But
6 a
those
month.
already started off with a pretty large cast of I don't know what you would call that, like classes, characters, champions. I don't.
All right, that's what we're going with.
They're all like 2.
When we have 8, then I'll get all those points. All right, Devin, your next one.
Let's see here. Anthem will create over 150 million in revenue during the first quarter. And so
During first quarter, I'm going to give you a 10.
during its like the first quarter of its sales, right? So based off of
in its first like quarterly report.
so based off of the fact that Mass Effect Andromeda sold an estimated 2.5 million copies in the first quarter, which netted them like 120 million in revenue. So I'm guessing this is going to sell more than 2.5 million copies in the first quarter. So, which is going to give it around that match.
And I guess we have to think that we're not in. That's just copies of the game. That's not even talking about bit packs or whatever else we're going to be buying.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
could
we're not
potentially
talking about cosmetic microtransactions or anything like that. We're
Well,
just-
technically it says revenue. So
revenue. So you know what? I'm gonna give this a 2.
Now that's just your BioWare fanboy speaking there, JD.
No,
Come on.
I'm guessing this is going to do more than that.
Andromeda made 111 million at its first quarterly report, and that was a quote unquote financial failure for BioWare.
Yeah, but we're also talking
But it still
about,
made money.
I mean, BioWare fans picked it up day one before reviews, right?
I even bought it day one.
So you've got that to take into account. And then the fallout from that, the fallout from Fallout 76.
It's just another 40 million, and I think Anthem, especially with the bigger market that it's appealing to and the microtransactions, I think it's going to be able to hit over 150 million easy.
Yeah, I think you need to up your amount here, Devin, considering microtransactions. I mean, you put the Carlton in there and you don't get sued by Alfonso, what's his name?
Ribeiro.
You're
It's
probably
not in there. It's not going to be there.
If
If it was, it got
You're
taken out.
you're going to leave it at 150?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to give it low. I'm going to give you a 2.
Hey, you had
JD said
a
he's gonna
10
give
there
you a
before.
2.
You can't change it. It was already put
Well,
down there as a 10.
That's before I'm like, oh, microtransaction. Mike is going to rate a. I think Mike fell asleep.
Mike did not fall asleep. He's here. He's trying to. I'm trying to find out online if there's rules to this game.
He has a calculator.
I do.
150 mil, high or low?
Low. Right.
Low.
You were closest
100
without going over.
150 million. In the
So
first
if you
quarter?
read it, it says Anthem will create over 150 million in revenue. So anything over 150, and I'm correct.
No, I understand
Yeah.
that. I have no frame of reference for this, so I'm gonna say $1,
So
Bob.
if you were listening to the last couple minutes
Devin,
instead of looking at your phone,
Zip it. I'm saying $1,
All right, Mike,
Bob.
your next one. Third prediction for Mike.
My third prediction.
I give him a 1.
Thanks, Devin.
Devin's gonna give him a 1.
I am predicting
Oh,
that there
no.
will be
10.
another planet/continent by end of year.
10.
Ooh.
Because you don't think it?
No, I think they're just gonna continue to expand our continent. There's no space travel, right? There's no airplanes to
rip
drive
stream.
to
Yeah,
fly
yeah,
above
but
the
it's
rip
not-
stream to get you there.
There's a shaper
it's not a
storm.
small
There's
planet.
there's
It's not a
portals.
small
There's
planet.
We also know that you
saying.
can rip through the
Area.
fabric of time and reach through, like the scars teleport around. So that's a possibility.
Oh boy.
I mean, the Heart of Rage was producing when Mike Gamble was talking about it in the reveal for when they did the video for Kind of Funny Games. The Heart of Rage has been burning for a while, and there's a bunch of creatures coming out of there. I probably just broke NDA. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we might.
You
need
just
to-
repeated
so
something
hard.
off a YouTube
Yeah,
video. It's not
well,
NDA.
Man, it's so hard to remember what is what.
It's like,
Wow, that bleep sure sounded weird.
That's nothing
Wow,
NDA
what a
about
weird
that. That was on a
sound you
YouTube
just made.
video. It's not a problem. Mike
Okay.
did that video. For
Mike,
Kinda
I am
Funny.
going to give you a 2 because I'm guessing that we're going to have another continent. JD, your rank of the prediction?
I'm gonna say 7. It
On
could
the
happen,
fence.
but I don't think it will.
All right, JD, you're number 3.
I predict that there will be a 5th javelin by the end of 2019.
I'm going
1.
to give you a 1. Devin's going to give you 1. Mike?
I think it's gonna happen.
So
Okay,
1.
Mike's going to give you a 1. Do you want to revise, JD?
Nope.
Push that prediction up, or you're just, you're
Nope.
just going to get 1 point if you're right, and that's it?
You know what? Like,
You're not even going to gamble on that?
hey.
Are you gonna Mike gamble?
Oh, no.
All right, move it along. Let's go.
Okay. I was going to give you a chance, but all right. My 4th prediction, there will be a wooden texture by the end of 2019.
Give you a 4.
4 it is. Mike?
I think it will happen.
Mike's going to give me a
Like, I
4.
really think
We'll just
I-
keep it in line.
I really think.
Oh, so you really think? Okay, I'm going to give you 1. JD?
Okay.
I'll give it a 3.
3? Can I revise then? Because this is really low and I can just push this up.
Nope.
So
Sure.
just
Let's
just
move.
go with me.
Keep
If
it-
I want
keep
to
it
go
moving,
through
keep
a
it moving.
texture, if I want to go through from a texture to an actual decal, if that would change your guys' minds.
Nope. Nope.
decal?
Yep, to an actual decal instead of just having a texture.
I'll give you a
Yep.
10 on a decal.
All right, I'm gonna go change this to a decal so I can get Devin's 10. Mike, JD, does it change yours or no?
Nope.
To have a decal, sure. I bet we won't get a decal. I bet it'll just be a texture.
Oh,
So what number you going with?
decal?
So I'm going
A decal.
10.
Not a decal.
All right.
A decal.
A decal.
JD, you
I'll
change
change
it or
mine
you
to
still
6.
stay at 3?
6.
I bet the decals.
All right, Devin.
First raid like post-launch content drops by end of April.
Let's see, February, March, April.
That's first quarter.
That's like super easy. I'm gonna give you a 1. I bet it happens like super soon after.
I'm with Steve on this one, so I'll probably say a 1.
Mike,
Yeah, it'll happen. It's first quarter.
you want to revise, Devin?
By the end of March.
I would still give you a 1. I mean, we're going 22nd of February. I mean, if you were like pushing the end of February, maybe. That's only-
if it's the end of March. If it's the end of March, that'll change mine probably to like a 5 or a 6.
That's only
Or
4
6.
weeks.
I'll say by the end of the first week of March.
So by the 2nd of March, by the 2nd of the March, you're saying
What? No,
by
the end of the
March,
first week.
End of the first week.
end of the first full week of March, so the 9th of
Yeah.
March.
So by the 9th of March.
Oh, that's early.
That's 2 weeks after lunch.
That's early. That's too early. That's too early. People don't even have.
All right. I'll give that.
People don't even have all 4 javelins yet, do they?
Unless you're on PC, then you're probably already there.
Yeah.
So
You've had
I'm
3
gonna
weeks.
up it. I'm gonna up it to a 7 because that's soon. That's 2 weeks. That's fast.
That's an
I'll
8
do
from me.
Just made up
Mike?
some points there.
6. Let's do 6.
I appreciate your
Made up some
points.
That our average is 7.
With my
Mike,
insider
your fourth
information
prediction.
that I don't have.
I don't like.
Oh
don't know.
man.
Your 4th
not-
prediction.
My 4th prediction. I'm not very good at this stuff. We will find a loot cave in the first month.
That's not your
1.
prediction.
It's not a
That's
good
what it
prediction.
says. That's what it
I should
says.
change it.
Just kidding.
We'll find a loot cave in the first month. Like, all right, so a quantified loot cave.
Like Destiny 1 loot cave.
I'm gonna say 10.
Like, I mean, anywhere you shoot, the loot comes
Why-
out. I mean,
well,
what are you
let's-
saying?
Could you define a loot cave? Like in
Well,
function?
yeah, it's a cave that you get loot out
Where
of.
they constantly spawn and drop.
Yeah,
items.
like I think we
So-
all here know what the Destiny.
No,
loot-
but I mean, you could find any cave, and if there's an enemy in there,
So
no, but
something
it has to
comparable
be
to a loot
like
cave.
it needs to
Repeatable on the
become-
same level.
Yeah, and it needs to go viral and have that, like how it was.
I think for it to count as a loot cave, BioWare would have to patch it out.
Okay,
So an exploitable farming location
so
that
we have
is
to find that.
patched out by the developers.
We have to cause Bio. So my prediction is really BioWare not fixes, but
It takes away all of our fun. Yes.
takes away all of our fun. No, let's not do that then, because that was a dumb one. Circle back to me. I'll come up with a different prediction.
Okay, JD.
My prediction is we will likely see clan systems in the first 6 months.
1.
I will give you a 1.
Yeah,
2.
I'll take it.
You want it, or do you want to update that?
Let's say 3 months.
That's a 1-point prediction. You're gonna update it to 3 months.
I'll say 3 months because it took them a little while. I think for Destiny and other games, and it's not planned at launch, is it? I don't think it is.
So I'm going to tell you right now, Ben Irving was asked a question about the alliance system or the clans, and he said, I can't tell you right now, but we need to tell you about that real soon. So I'm
Okay.
guessing it's going to be there, if not at launch, very soon right after. So
I would guess at launch.
yeah, my guess is at launch. Because the
But you
alliance
don't-
system stuff was already in the stream.
That's still
so.
technically within the first 3 months. So
Yeah, that's why. So it'd be super easy.
yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that.
So I'm going to still leave it at 1.
but
You're fine with a 1-pointer?
Look, I'm fine with it because it was hard enough coming up with these in the first place.
What? It was easy.
And I don't have the mental acuity with me at the moment to create a clever or interesting or challenging one right now in the moment. So, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Mike.
So I came up with a different prediction. I think the companion app will allow us to change the appearance of our javelins.
1.
Oh, I'm so good at this game.
Are you talking like
Uh,
right away or eventually?
Right,
'Cause
what
I
do you mean
know-
right away.
Technically, they've talked about it and said that would be a cool feature, but I don't know that that's going to be.
Oh,
in
so we
there
need to
right
put
away.
a time frame on this. Let's put this. Let's do this.
Well, we don't even know when the companion app is going to come out, or if there's even going to be a companion app.
Oh, there'll be a companion app.
So, well, I guess if we don't know if there's going to be a companion app because we haven't heard anything, if you put a time frame on it, put a time frame on it.
Within a month of companion app release.
Because I'm guessing this would be a day 1 feature for a companion app, or else why
Or
have
else
a
why
companion
have it?
app? If you
Was
can-
it in
the-
the Destiny companion app at day 1? I don't think it was.
Pretty sure.
I don't remember.
I don't think it was.
What else
actually.
were
I
we
don't
using
remember.
it for then? We weren't reading.
You were just
Grimoire
looking at
cards on
him. Yeah, that's all it's for. It's Grimoire. I don't remember. I'll give you a 2.
Oh,
Devin gives you 2.
No, okay, I'll give you 5. Fine. Okay.
thanks, Devin.
I'll split the odds,
Appreciate you.
so we don't have to go.
I'll
So we
give
don't have to
him-
come back to this
I'll give
again.
him a 5.
Okay, I'll give
give
you
him
a 5 too. Just for parody sake. All right, prediction number 5. So I predict there will be 2 Anthem novels released before 2020.
10.
All right. I have insider information. Mike,
I don't think there will be 2. So is that a 10?
Correct.
how many do you think there will be?
Maybe 1? Haven't
I'll
we already
give you
heard
10.
there's going to be 1?
No. JD?
Oh.
And we're not counting
Comics,
counting
no.
graphic novels in this.
Nope.
No. Okay.
No.
Then I will also. I'm gonna say 6.
6 it is. Devin?
Anthem's first story DLC arrives in April.
I thought we weren't getting DLC.
It's DLC, but it's free for everyone.
Free DLC? January, February, March, April. I'm going to give you a 4 because I think it's going to happen sooner. Mike?
2.
2. JD?
I like numbers.
I'm gonna say 8 because that's
8?
a fairly accurate shot he's calling. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm not entirely confident that it's gonna arrive in April. Could arrive in March. Could arrive in May.
But we also know they've been saying, hey, you guys, we're going to get content out quicker to the players.
What kind of content?
The downloadable kind. Because everything's going to be downloadable. So never mind changing it to a 1. All right, Mike, your last one.
My last one is that Freelancer Codex will get a shout out in game.
I'm going to give that a 10.
10.
Devin?
It's going to
JD?
happen.
They're not giving us a shout out.
Boom. Hey, look,
JD?
I won.
You did win. Good job, Mike. Well done.
I think there will be at least 5 BioWare Easter eggs in Anthem. And
Give
if
you a
need
1?
me to-
1.
Mike?
All right, everybody knows what I mean by Easter egg? Yeah, okay, cool.
We've already seen one. We've seen the N7 javelin.
Yeah, that's 1. That's not like 5.
There'll be
no, we
more
got
in
4
there.
to go. And how many other franchises do they have? All right.
Dragon
You don't
Age.
want to
and
change
that's
that,
it, really.
JD? You want to up it? You want to up it at all? Because that seems pretty easy.
If I change it to 8, would it make any difference?
No, I still
No.
think that's low.
Unless you go to like
10.
20.
20.
I do mean like proper proper Easter eggs, like, you know.
So
Unless
so
you go to like
even if
20,
you-
it's not going to change much.
yeah, you could be like, hey guys, this plant was from Mass Andromeda, and it was
Mass
there in the first
Andromeda.
scene, and then you'd be like,
You
it's
could-
in there, so you could totally
just
take us for a ride.
You could just have an egg and be like, that's a reference to
Oh,
what's his
man.
face.
I don't think that there will be 20. Like, that's way too many Easter eggs.
It's a big world, man.
I agree.
I mean, there
Like-
could be carvings on the wall of a tempest somewhere. That's like, oh,
Like,
look,
I could
there's the
I could
tempest.
think of like the BioWare references in other BioWare games have always been like less than 5.
What's in what's
Less than
the armor called in Mass Effect Andromeda? It's like Pal something.
The what?
What are they called? Are they called paladins?
Palette? What are you talking? I didn't hear your question really.
I don't know. I'm just telling myself. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I mean,
So-
there was a Blood Dragon armor in Mass Effect 2, and that was one of 2 references to Dragon Age in Mass Effect, and there were no references to. Well, no, there was a reference to Jade Empire, and then there was a reference to Knights of the Old Republic in Mass Effect 2 as well. And there might have been a 5th Easter egg, but that was it.
Just Googling, just using my Google foo, 15 Easter eggs you totally missed in Mass Effect Andromeda. 12 Easter eggs found in Mass Effect 3.
All right, we're done with this.
I'll say 10. I'll say 10. That's as high as I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna say 20. That's stupid.
I mean, it's your prediction. I'm just saying, if you want more than one possible point to win a steel case at the end of 2019,
Is it still
say at least 10?
Oh, at least 10. So then anything
At
more than
least
10
10.
is fine.
and they have to be
anything
BioWare
long-term.
related, right? They have to
They
be
have to
BioWare related.
BioWare related. Like it
One.
can't be like a reference to Kingdom of Amalur, like they did in Mass Effect 3 or Mass Effect 2, whichever one that was. It has to be referencing another BioWare product. I don't mean like a reference to another EA property, like I don't know, like the Dead Space armor in Dragon Age 2. That was dumb.
So when they have Madden armor for the Colossus.
when they have a Denver Bronco decal. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a 7.
John
10,
Madden.
because 10 specifically BioWare seems high, so I'm gonna give you a 7. Devon,
1.
Mike,
I'll leave it at 1.
leave it at 1. All right,
Leave it at 1.
I got you 2 extra points, JD. I did my hardest for. Okay, so possible points at the end of this. I have a possible 37 points. Devon has a possible 22 points. Mike has a possible 40 points. And JD has a possible of 18 points. So we'll see at the end of the year. I mean, it feels like the end of the year already after we got through this whole game. So a couple of things that the listeners
Wait, that
predicted.
wasn't the game? I didn't win?
No, we have to actually see who gets them right at the end of 2019. And then we see who wins.
I'm so disappointed.
So we'll look back at this and none of us will remember by 2019 except for Steven.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
What are you talking about? I'm going to remember. This thing is labeled
here's my
episode
prediction.
67 prediction show.
Here's my prediction. We will forget about this by the end of 2019.
You might, but I spent a lot of time putting this show together, JD. So I don't know if you know this or not, but I probably won't forget. Okay, so Matt Rice 9 says that there will be a companion app at the end. Matt Ruiz says we'll find out the monitor is our father as their prediction. So what do you guys rate Monitor Our Father on scale 1 to 10?
No.
I'm going 1.
No.
10.
Specifically, our father. I'm gonna say 10.
All right, so I'm surprised none of us said any of this in our predictions, but Frank the Rook says it's going to be successful beyond expectations. We'll get PvP announcement before the end of the year, and I pray the second part of your prediction never comes true, Devon. Oh, that's Devon. You added that on there. I was like, I'm just going to keep reading this through. So prediction for PvP, I'm going to give that a 10. I hope it never happens.
10. I pray it never happens.
10.
12.
He is a player.
12. It's not going to happen.
All right, so Praxis says, I know they said no PvP at launch, but what about PvPE, where 2 teams fight to beat a boss the fastest? Can't kill the other team, but maybe disrupt them. I'm going to give that a 10.
10.
That I don't think it'll happen.
I don't think it'll happen either.
Like ever?
Yeah, I don't think you'll be able to disrupt the other team. I don't think that's built into the game, so it's built for 4 people.
Server can only take 4 people.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it's built for 4, I don't know how easy that would be. I've never engineered a server in my life, so.
I'll give it an 8 just because I actually kind of want to see that happen. Like I wouldn't mind like racing another team to completing an objective.
His specific one, I'll give it 10, but I'm guessing they're gonna have some kind of competition type stuff. But
I mean, because if they do a competition that's PvE, I mean, you could do that just with a stopwatch, right? I mean, what's the point of integrating that into? Like, you'd have?
Well,
to
if they
find a
just have
lobby
like
that fits 8
leaderboards or
people.
something like that, or it's just all about. I mean, the leaderboards especially create a competitiveness in and of themselves. So it's like this team has the fastest clear of the stronghold on this difficulty. Those leaderboards create competitiveness just by themselves. Like even in Diablo 3, when we're playing the seasons, we're looking, okay, we have a 3-man team. This is how far up the leaderboards we are. That's pretty cool. Okay, we're going to try and push higher on the leaderboards, so.
Right, and I don't think a leaderboard would fall under PvPE though. I mean,
No,
that
I
just
don't think
seems
so.
like
No.
it's just a leaderboard, and that gets you the competitiveness that you would want out of that.
Mhm.
So, all in for leaderboards. Hopefully they have them. So Rusted writes in and says, random statistics recorded, like how many flares Mike Gamble chucks in a mission, how many times he crashes into a wall, and how many Grabbits Mike Gamble kills. So I'm going to give that I'm guessing they're recording that, so I'm going to give that a 1. I bet all these stats are recorded.
They record that.
I'm
That's
gonna
how
give it
they're
a
going
4.
I think Mike's checked out.
Mike Lampson,
So,
Is it my turn?
put your phone away.
no, it's not your turn.
Okay.
Turn your phone in before class starts.
I know you're a teacher. Like we've completely lost.
I
Mike
know
this
you've been
one.
on vacation, but
I'm
It's
still
like
on.
this high level thinking is like just floored him. Like I've got
still
some
on
meth, man. If you need some,
Steve, I don't
Okay.
understand why Steven is talking about so many drugs tonight. I'm gonna have to
So
go
we
through
had
them.
we had
Everybody
drug
for
training today.
listening.
So Dropkick Hoonigan. I'm gonna mute Mike real quick.
We're
So
still going
Dropkick
through
says a future update will include clan features such as ranking banners and emblems eligible for placement on javelins. Clan emblems on my thick boy. Never mind. He just said thick boy shield. I'm gonna erase this.
And you read it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna delete that.
Colossus.
So the Anthem show, there will be competitive racing league with a ladder system, racing as in speed runs.
I'll give that a 10.
I mean, I guess that's the thing that we have been talking about. If there is a leaderboard,
Yeah.
I don't think there'll ever be a ladder system. Yeah, this is like a 20. I don't think they'd ever give you a rank depending on where you are, how many people you're up against. Because what you at on the ladder. So I don't think they'd be able to even rank that. I mean, if you're doing support or running a specific role, how do you even get ranked on the system like that?
Yeah,
I don't think that's going to happen.
10.
That sounds way too far-fetched. We made some crazy predictions. These are also some crazy predictions. I still can't say that freaking word. Mike, thanks for sticking with us for this whole show. Glad you could be here. Thanks for coming back. You will definitely hear about it in your employee review later on. It happens at the beginning of each year. So I don't even know how to end this
The
thing.
thing that gets me is like this episode is still going on.
We're excited. We're stoked. We're ready for Anthem. Get to play it this
Play the
month.
outro. Just play the outro.
It's good.
I'm just going to keep going despite you. I mean, the thing is, like, I mean, we could, I feel like I could keep talking about Anthem and keep recording the show for another 2.5 hours. So, I mean, it's finally going to be here. I'm excited for it. Until next time, freelancers, if Mike is even on the show after this episode, if you can, pay attention just a little bit, there's a Shaper Storm on the horizon. We'll see you on the other side.
Later.
Bye-bye.
I can't even find the button.
Thanks for listening. You can find us on Twitter at Freelancer Codex, on Facebook at Freelancer Codex, or through email at freelancercodex@gmail.com. Join the Discord through the link provided at freelancercodex.com. Our show will always be free, but if you'd like to send some support, you may do so at patreon.com/freelancercodex. Our individual Twitter handles are at Stephen Lamson, at mlamson25, at Neverfear,
Don't follow Mike.
and at JD the Joke Dealer. Freelancers, it's time to get to work.
He probably won't even be paying attention. He won't know that you're tweeting at him.